synthetic braiding hair could be dangerous. I mean, I was always curious that there were maybe chemicals in synthetic braiding hair, but I got a hold of one of the first ever studies on synthetic braiding hair by Consumer Reports. I'm gonna walk you through some of the findings. They are earth-shattering. So they tested 10 of the most popular brands and they found that 100% of them had some sort of like harmful chemical or carcinogen, which is something that causes cancer. And 3 out of the 10 samples contained benzene, which is known for causing acute myeloid leukemia. Horrible. And I mentioned this earlier, but 9 out of the 10 samples contained lead. So according to the study, the synthetic braiding hair industry is a $2.7 billion industry and is expected to rise to over $6.3 billion by 2029. However, synthetic braiding hair is not regulated by the FDA, so there's a lot of wiggle room here, and it's up to us to kind of demand that the FDA does better. But let me walk you through a couple more of the findings. So you know, at the end of a braiding session, when your hair is either dipped into boiling water or burned, well, they found that volatile organic compounds, which are chemical gases, are released into the air. So that means that hair braiders are exposed to volatile organic compounds on a regular basis, and people who are wearing braids, every time they get their hair braided, they're also breathing in these volatile organic compounds. And these volatile organic compounds can cause irritation and, at their worst, damage to your central nervous system. And that's what's in a lot of synthetic braiding hair. So wild. So I've been reading through this study, and they've done a lot of tests like finding lead in toys. And again, this is one of the first studies at this scale that can confirm what a lot of people wearing braids have suspected for a really long time, that there are in fact chemicals. And it's really important for us as consumers to demand better. So I would say if you've ever experienced any type of irritation with your braids, please file a complaint to the FDA, because we need to get those complaints up so they have no choice but to regulate this industry. So some of the brands that they tested were Magic Fingers, Sassy Collection, Sensational, Shake and Go, and more. A lot of people are like, what is Cconsumer? Cconsumer, I believe that's how it's pronounced. Well, it has cancer-causing chemicals in it. That's something that we know for sure. I know a lot of people are wondering, like, is it better if I like wash my braiding hair? What can we do? Braiding is so important and deeply embedded into Black culture worldwide. So it's not something that I'm going to just think everybody needs to stop braiding their hair. However, our products need to be safer for us. And they haven't done any testing yet on the impacts of like washing braiding hair, and they're doing more research on some of the more like non-toxic options that are available. There are a lot of Black-owned brands like Rebundle and others that are using other plant-based materials like pineapple, leather, or fibers, etc., other like plant-based materials to make better braiding hair. But I'm sharing this information with you all because 1, it's breaking news, and 2, I want people to know the risks, because knowledge is power, and as a community, we deserve a lot better. So please spread the word. If you are a hair braider, make sure you're taking the proper precautions to keep yourself safe. Again, I can't make like specific recommendations at this time, but we do know that burning and boiling hair is releasing volatile organic compounds, and you're breathing that in. So again, constant exposure to these things isn't super great. And if you are getting your hair braided, so I decided to get locks in 2021 because I didn't want to comb my hair ever again. And honestly, wearing my hair in its natural state is reducing the risk of me being exposed to these harsh chemicals. However, I am a person that does braids over my locks a lot, but I'm going to opt for some of those like Black-owned brands that are, you know, doing their due diligence to make sure that the products are safe. You can also spend more time in between wearing braids in your hair to kind of reduce the constant exposure instead of getting back to back braids. But that's where we're at right now. This is an industry that is making so much money off of the Black dollar, and we can do our part to stop this and demand that this industry is regulated so we can be safe and also wear cute hairstyles at the same time. If you want to learn more about this report, it came out literally this week. I'm filming this the week of February 27th, 2025. This study was done by Consumer Reports and is going to change the history of the Black hair care industry, hopefully for the better. Please take a look through it. There was a leading chemist and an incredible team that conducted this research. Again, this is some of the first of its kind at this scale. So check it out on Consumer Reports.